Hey guys, welcome to Comfy Cozy Up. So I'm doing a weekend vlog because I remember this arc I received, The Island by Adrian McKinty, and I thought I was going to finish it already, but I did not because I waited, which I should have. So now I'm going to spend the weekend reading this. Now I started it last night, so I am about 132 pages in. It is a thriller, suspense, all of that. So, and it's entertaining. I'm gonna say I'm laughing because of the characters are, some of them are just stupid. But it makes the story entertaining. Now this is the second book I've read from the author. I read The Chain. So I'm familiar with his shenanigans and how he portrayed women different from men in his thrillers. Now this is a story about a young woman. She is recently married to this doctor, and he is a widow. Well, he lost his wife a year prior, so she's now, age gap, and he also has 2 kids, and they were around 12, 14, and of course they don't accept her yet because they just lost their mother. Now in this book, I'm already laughing just thinking about some of the stuff that's happening. They went on a conference with him to Australia. They're from Seattle. They went to Australia for a conference, and she's pretty much stuck in the role of being a caretaker for his kids, which, is problematic in itself because, that's your new woman and she's always taking care of the kids, and these kids really don't care for her. So while they're in vacation, he's there for work. They're in Australia. They want to see the wild animals. They want to see something to take back to their friends to say they've been to Australia. So while he had a little downtime, the kids convinced them that they wanted to see, and these men overheard and said, "Oh, you should go to this island." Now there were clues that maybe they shouldn't go to this island, but these kids and this poor woman's trying to make them happy, and of course convince the man, their father, and went along with these men to this island where they know for a fact there is no body there but this family of people. So there's no law enforcement, there is no hospital, there's nothing. And now they're there, and also their phone has no service, so if there's an emergency they can't call nobody. Needs to know something happened and it caused the death of a person, and it just went downhill from there. We're talking kidnapping, we're talking murder, we're talking trying to escape, we're talking just you name it, it is happening. This book is supposed to be, what's the last page? 370 pages, and I'm already 130, and when I tell you there was a lot happening so far, but because how ridiculous some of the characters are, there's one particular incident that happened that involved other people. It's not just the 4 of them, the 2 kids, the husband. There's another couple that got involved in there, and I was just like, just let them die. Like, I'm reading this screaming like, and then the kids are getting on my nerves. A part of me just kind of want to tell the woman, just go. They ain't your kids, go. But then I'm like, morally wrong. But that's the kind of what this is. I'm laughing at some of the shenanigans that's happening, some of the things, and how he likes to portray women as just not too right. He does that, but I like this author, but he has a way of portraying women and differently. That's all I'm going to say. I'm rolling my eyes a couple of times, but I'm going to go back into this, and I'm going to keep reading as much as possible. I definitely want to finish this by tomorrow or by Monday, because I want this video up Tuesday, I'm sorry. I think this comes out on the 17th. It says the 17th. Nope, y'all, that is rain, so we're gonna wrap up this outside shenanigan because it's raining. Alright guys, so I thought I had about 3 hours because it said it wasn't gonna start raining until 5. It is 2 o'clock, but that didn't happen. Another weekend, another rainy day weekend. So it is May 17th, which is this Thursday. I keep saying Thursday. This Tuesday it comes out. So I'm gonna continue reading this, adulting. So you might be hearing sounds because I'm doing laundry and the most. So I'm gonna finish. Try to get to another 50 page. I will check back in, but it's entertaining. It's entertaining. It's not. It is creepy. It is creepy from the get-go. The first chapter was a little creepy because these people are just nuts on this island. These, you know, that's trying to get them. They're nuts. So but I'm gonna continue reading this, guys. I am in the living room. As you can see, the furniture is still covered because renovations on pause because of not under my control, nor the person who's doing this is also has obligation that kind of put it on pause. So I'm a little bit bummed out that it is not done, but hopefully soon. If not, this is yeah, I will not be the one to do renovation again for a long time. I hate the process. Absolutely hate the process. But anyway, I will get back to you guys in the next. I'm just gonna chill here and read. I'm a little bummed because outside feels so good, but it's raining. Alright guys, so I am more than half. So I'm at 200, but guys, I like this book. I'm just saying, this is not a book that needs to be a movie because I am getting too excited, too like, oh hell no. The main character, her name is Heather. So every time she gets herself in something, I'm like, man. What I love is they use her background because her parents are military. So she's a military kid. So certain things that she's remembering that she learned from her father that is kicking in when it comes to survival. Because this is really about her trying to survive in a no-win situation when you think of the fact that this is a small island with 25 people that knows the island. It's literally only a couple of miles. That's how big the island is. So it's small. And she's pretty much buying time, but it's just how she's able to get through certain things and survive, and you don't know what's going to happen next, and you're kind of like, oh man. Now, this author typically, the two books that I read, and I believe the other books, the women are the heroes in his books. But he also have you frustrated on how he writes the women, and that's where I'm like, I'm laughing at times, and I'm like, oh, that's just stupid. That kind of moment I'm having. But I think it was intentional to kind of get you like to see how the person's going to really get through a certain situation. But she's a badass. I would give her that. She is, you know, a dare taker, and she's doing the most for these kids that are, I mean, they're starting to rub off on me a little bit. Because at first I couldn't stand these kids. But the little girl is starting to rub off on me. I'm starting to like give her a little... a little, you know, a little space because she young. She, you know, she's 14, but she's starting to get that, you know, this ain't the time. You gotta survive. This ain't the time to be looking at, you know, your stepmom crazy because, you know, you don't really know her or like her or whatever. But she started to rub off on me. She got a little, you know, pointers. But my God, there's a scene that just happened and I'm just like, like, I didn't know how it was going to play out, but he got us good on this. This author, yeah, this is a movie. This is a movie. So anyway, I'm at page, I'm 200. So I'm going to do my journal today. And I'm jumping right back into this. This is like a perfect weekend read. I am going to just keep it going. And... you know, and it's for an arc, it's not messy. You know, like some arc you read and you're just kind of like, you can tell it's an arc. No, it just looks like a finished copy. I don't, so far I don't see it not being a finished copy. You know, where I would say he needs to change something. So far it's reading like a finished copy. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm really feeling this. I just want to know what's gonna happen next. Now I'm just like, let me hurry up and do this journaling thing, get something to drink, and hop back into this doggone book. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. Alright, hey guys, I am outside. It is, it rained, so everything is wet, but it's a beautiful day. It feels good outside, so I'm excited. Let me do the wrap up. I did finish this, and I'm gonna say for sure it is a page turner. It has the suspense you want in a thriller, and there's so much going on in this book that you're not gonna be bored. What I would say is the way the kids were written in the beginning, you know, I just want to throw the kids away. But these kids definitely stepped it up in this book. And I appreciate that the author did that, because I started like, oh, you know, that kind of deal. Now this is, what makes the thing is interesting is that, yeah, my neighbor kids is with this is because both are similar, the kids and the main character. Now Heather is a military child, and growing up she had all these lessons that her father wanted to instill. Her father was very militant, and these were survival skills that he felt she needed to know. But as a kid she didn't value any of that. She didn't think any of that was important, but she did pay attention but never really showed it. And it turned out in this case how valuable all those things were for her, and these people underestimated her ability to survive in a different kind of environment. And similar cases for the kids, but more so in a nerdy situation, more so in reading about interesting culture and different things, and how those reading certain things that you didn't think was important can become a part of survival ultimately. Now the author did give that whole idea of these are the land, this island was a native island, and there were things about that island that weren't appreciated by the people who took over, and how much there's things you can survive on in the land. Now he wrote this in the middle of the pandemic. He wrote at the first shutdown in New York. So you're going through that whole, New York has never been shut down. We're dealing with this pandemic, and that influenced his whole survival inspiration for this. But of course he used Australia because he had lived in Australia at one point. And he used an island. He used, what would you do if you have no technology, you have no phone, you have no way of communicating with the outside world? How would you survive? And I think the pandemic was the right moment for him to write this book. I enjoy this. Now there are some things in this where I'm cutting my eye, rolling my eye, but that's what you get sometimes with thriller. You do get the silly characters, you get the characters that don't make no sense, you get the characters that you just want to slap or just think it's stupid. You get that in thrillers, but it makes it interesting. One of the things that I did have an issue with is the fact that there's a main character they call Ma, and she's pretty much the one that part of stealing the island from the native, and how she held on to something that could have benefited her people, and she didn't say nothing to damn near the end. I thought that was such a slap in the face moment for this woman, and I was kind of like, yeah, I just need to kill the woman. Just kind of, that's how I was thinking. But other than that, everything else was kind of like textbook things that he put in there that you don't think about. And I like how the kids became a very important part of the story, and they weren't as naive, or there's that moment where you realize what was happening to them, why they responded to the main character. And I love that Heather was able to use those tools from her parents, that those valuable things from her parents that ultimately help her navigate through all this drama in this book. It's a really good one. It is long. The first 130 pages, there was so much going on that I was kind of figuring out how is he going to make the next 200 and something pages just as good as the beginning, but he did. The entire book is always something going on. It's always a survival task, something, some kind of action, some kind of somebody getting killed, somebody, going through it. There's always something in this book, and you will not be bored at all. I enjoy this. This was a yes for me, and he did it. He did it. He did it. He found a way to piss you off as a woman reading this, but at the same time got you fist pumping because of the hero being a woman. And I like that he does that to me, because this is the second book I've read from him, and I definitely will continue reading his book. This book comes out today when you're watching this, the May 17th. So I'm glad I was able to read this and finish it before the due date. And I'm glad I was able to get an art. Now I really wanted a finished copy, so hopefully I can request one of that. So, but yeah, and it just feels like a finished copy. I don't think there's anything in this that needs to be changed. You know how you get an arc and you don't know if they're going to change anything. I hope they don't, because I really like how it turned out. And I don't think anything really needs to be changed. It just feels like a finished copy to me. So anyway, I am going to end this here and edit this video. And yeah, I have completed a weekend vlog for the first time in a while. Like, completely finished one. But yeah, I'm gonna hopefully enjoy some outside. It's supposed to be good for the rest of the day. It might rain later tonight, but I'm going to chill outside and enjoy some of this greenery in spring. I hope you guys let me know what kind of thriller you've been reading lately, and if you ever read any books from this author, and let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.